Welcome back and moving on to our second segment of today, talking about all the developments that took place on the route of the Holy Family in Egypt. And we have seen special attention has been given by the Ministry of Tourism, talking about the revival of the route of the Holy Family in Egypt. Over the phone, we have Dr. Ihab Kamal, international tourist expert. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Talking about the route of the Holy Family in Egypt, and we have seen Minister of Tourism moving on over there and also inspecting one of the important places, talking about the Mariam Tree area.
Well, we have to understand that the Holy Family trip is a very important trip in the Christian history and in the Christian theology. And a great part of it is located here in Egypt, starting from northern Sinai and passing by the delta, different parts of the delta, like Zois, like Tomailat Valley, passing by Cairo, which didn't exist at the time, ending up about 500 kilometers south of Cairo in the area known now or occupied by Deir al-Muharraq or al-Muharraq monastery at the moment. So it's a huge route, and in every place there is a landmark, and in each landmark there's either a church or a monastery. Luckily in Cairo we have one of the important landmarks, which is the tree of Virgin Mary.
Right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. So basically, it's a step that needed to be taken quite a long time ago, especially that there are lots of Christians worldwide who would like to see that route. Lots of people who want to see where did the Holy Family had stopped, where did they live for a while. Especially that when you talk also about Egypt, you're talking about a country that has one of the most ancient 5 churches in the world, which is the Coptic Orthodox Egyptian Church. So I think this is a very important project. I think it's going to be a very big added value to the Egyptian tourism. Because there are lots of people, at least from the countries which they have the Orthodox faith, they would like to follow the same path.
Sir, the Ministry of Tourism is not only giving attention to the place itself, but also to the roads leading to each of these historical sites, in addition to encouraging, talking about trade in that area and just showing some of the artifacts and archaeological Egyptian artifacts. How important it is?
Well, let's first say that that the government great care about these areas is very important, because in tourism you cannot really attract the visitors without giving care to these places and providing services. Besides, when you talk about visitors coming to follow the route of the Holy Family, I believe they're not just coming for that. You're talking about Egypt. Egypt, which is a major historical destination. You're providing Egypt as a total touristic product, which not many countries can provide, really. So they can see they can have a very profound look at the Egyptian heritage, with the ancient Egyptian heritage, the Christian heritage, even the medieval heritage, which is very rich, and also not many people know as well, especially that we are talking about the Holy Family, but that the most ancient Bible in the world was discovered in Egypt, although it's located in the British Museum at the moment, and yet 37 pages of this Bible had been recently discovered, and they are preserved in the monastery of St. Catherine in China. So we have a lot to offer, and I believe that with all the services provided, all the upgrading of the site, I believe we can attract lots of visitors to these areas.
There is also a clear cooperation with the Ministry of Local Development, talking about these important historical sites, and as long as we are talking about roads, also talking about having places, services provided for tourists and visitors of each of these areas in different governorates, having hotels to provide the more services for people who would like to rest and continue the tour to find out more about the route of the Holy Family in Egypt.
Well, of course, tourism, the tourism section has to extend bridges with all the different ministries, especially the ministries that are responsible for all public services, like the Ministry of the Local Affairs, because as we said before, there's no tourism without facilities, without roads, without organization. So I believe that there should be a communication between this, the Ministry of Tourism and all the different ministries which are responsible for providing facilities, starting from the Ministry of Local Affairs up to the Ministry of Interior, up to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's supposed to be, they are all supposed to be working in harmony, because at the end we are all aiming for one basic target: the visitor who's going to need an easy visa facilitation while he's at Cairo airport, which will give him a positive impression about the country as he enters. The visitor who will need a decent road so that he can make and get to his destination comfortably, as well as the place itself, how the area around itself. Talking about the Ministry of Interior, traffic can be a very big problem if it's not sorted. So the place has to be organized from the traffic point of view, so that the visitor can make the best use of his time visiting the site and making more visits instead of wasting his time on in a traffic jam or in traffic. All this supposed to be all these ministries should work together in harmony, and that will and this will be reflected positively on the Egyptian tourism, which I see that it's happening now. That you will find that the Ministry of Tourism is extending bridges with other ministries, which didn't happen before. Before, each one used to work. Each one of these ministries
right,
used
of
to work on its
course.
own.
Yes,
now,
we have
now
witnessed
I see
all
something
the
very positive.
infrastructure developments taking place all around, of course, facilitating actually transportation and giving access to different historical sites also of Egypt. So, Dr. Ihab Kamal, international tourist expert, thank you very much for joining us. And I guess with this we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for more coming up on Nile TV International.